If you were driving north from Auckland, you might actually be stuck in the traffic there now. Warkworth wants a roundabout. That's all, a big roundabout for the little town, about an hour north of Auckland City, depending on the traffic. And a team called Fix Hill Street Now is heading to Parliament tomorrow to ask for help. Spokesperson Grant McLachlan described the intersection that can stop traffic for hours on State Highway 1.
The Hill Street intersection is on State Highway 1 north of Auckland at Warkworth, and it is 5 intersections within 30 metres. Think of an asterisk with 8 points to it, and it handles 35,000 vehicles a day, but can only handle less than 3,000 vehicles per hour, and it is at capacity most of the time with queues of greater than 1 kilometre most of the time in all directions. It's affectionately known as New Zealand's worst intersection, and the council is now allowing a further 8,000 houses next to it over the next decade, even though Warkworth only has 1,500 houses in it. So,
and over summer, when people head to those wonderful beaches up the coast, it just becomes... And I know that I'm not meant to have an opinion here as the interviewer, but I don't mind offering one. It becomes farcical, doesn't it, that intersection?
Yeah, on Waitangi Day this year, there was a 13-hour traffic jam, and there were 2-hour waits in all directions. Queues of more than 12 kilometres an hour, more than 12 kilometres long. So it's a bit of a joke. People who live close to the intersection feel like a prisoner in their home during summer.
Because you simply, even to go into town to get some milk or eggs or whatever, would be a nightmare, wouldn't it?
And to make it worse, the fire station and the police and the ambulance are right next door to the intersection, and they're stuck as well. And several people have actually died because they couldn't get to the hospital within the golden hour. And what the rescue helicopter has now flown up to Snow's Beach to collect people needing urgent medical assistance.
Rather than trying to drive them out.
Oh yeah, I mean they just give up. Helicopter. They may make 2 or 3 trips a day.
So what is the solution to this?
Well, the solution, the NZTA had a solution back in 2009, but then they decided to can it in favour of a motorway, which they told everyone would fix it. And we've found under information released under the Official Information Act, the motorway that bypasses it, it's going to cost $700 million, and it's only going to divert 15% of the traffic.
Okay, look, so I'm a bit confused as to what would make this better. How can you make that intersection, which you have State Highway 1,
okay.
So people heading between, say, Whangarei and Auckland use this road. We have the road coming down from the hills, which is people who've been over to the beaches, Omaha or Matakana or Snell's Beach or whatever. We have the local Warkworth traffic. We have a little kind of mini subdivision off to the other side, and that traffic's coming down. How can you make that all work?
One large format roundabout, because there's 8 points coming into that intersection, and because the traffic on the State Highway 1 is controlled by the traffic lights to the north and the south, you can have a roundabout there that will take, which will actually double the capacity of the intersection. A
gigantic 8-point roundabout.
One big roundabout. Yep.
Eight roads on and off it.
We've actually, the software developers and the engineers who the NZTA use, we've actually come up with about 15 different designs, and we've pulled all the talent from around the world in the universities and engineering firms, and they have tested our designs, and they've also come up with their own amendments.
And what would be the cost of your preferred roundabout option?
Well, it's going to be in the vicinity of $10 to $20 million. And that's based on Auckland prices. I mean, there's an intersection just down the road in Kumeu that's costing $6 million to build. Why
is it so hard to get NZTA to move on this? What's the argument against a roundabout?
Well, the first excuse I came up with is, well, if we build all these other roads around it, because the intersection is actually at the hub of a spoke system, and there's no rim connecting all the arteries around it. So they've come up with that argument. But the thing is, the intersection is right in the middle by the CBD, and people still want to go to the shops, and they still need to drop the kids off to school. So this intersection is crucial. The other excuse they came up with is disruption. They said they do the earthworks in there, but there's going to be a lot of traffic disruption. But we've proven everywhere else in Auckland where they're doing roadworks, there hasn't been disruption for this type of roundabout. And secondly, Auckland Council has gone and done all the environmental assessments and the site-specific traffic management for the upgrade of the public toilets and car park right next door to the intersection. And there's a huge area where they can actually work to actually upgrade the intersection, but they just seem to be dithering. Thrown to the argument the fact that half the intersection is actually Auckland Council controlled, and they've just been they're stuck in this mess where they just can't get out, and neither can the residents of Warkworth.
Spokesperson Grant McLachlan. NZTA was unavailable to talk to us today. We're not sure why. In a statement, it said all options are being considered, but a roundabout poses significant challenges in Warkworth, as it would require even traffic flows, flat land, and a lot of space.